Hello, welcome back to the channel. Brandon Davidson, and I'm the owner of Davidson Audio. And in this video, we're going to continue talking about Indian Chieftain specific products that we make in-house for the 2019 and newer Indian Chieftains. And in the past videos, we talked about our amp plates that we have made and how to install that, our digital signal processor mounting plates and how those go in. So now it's time to actually get the power and ground from your battery to where we install our amplifiers. So in this episode, we're going to go over our 4-gauge and 8-gauge power ground kit. So enough talking, let's go over, show you what's included with these, and let's get them both installed. All right, now we are underneath this seat where the battery is located. It's located right underneath this, which this very well could be the ECM. I'm not sure. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. So, very basic tools to get this part done. You're just going to need a Phillips screwdriver, a ratchet or a screwdriver handle, and a 5mm. Because what we're going to do is we're going to install the power ground and upgraded ground. If you can see it here, this right here is the upgraded ground. So this is the negative terminal here, and this is the frame ground here. So we'll go ahead and put that on. We'll route it the same way. And then the positive terminal is right here underneath this plate. So what we're gonna do first is we'll take this part, this 5mm bolt right here, which is also where we put our aftermarket fuse holder. We'll undo this, slide this forward up out of our way. We may just, we'll just slide it up out of the way. We'll make our connections, we'll put it back on, and then we'll loosely put our fuse holder here, this harness up out of its way, and then we'll get routing the wiring up the backbone. So let's get after it. Now, you don't have to disconnect that like I did. I simply did that for purpose of so I can show, so you guys can clearly see this a little bit better, because I wasn't able to like actually get it up out of the way nicely. So we took it off just for demonstration purposes. So that being said, the first thing I want to do is go ahead and get this upgraded ground going because it's a pain. So on the outside of the bike here, there is a 5mm and this is a 10mm. And usually you can go ahead and break it loose and hold it and it will come loose. So just like that, that came loose. Now let's go ahead and get the screw right here loose so we can add our ground to it and kind of do some rerouting to make it easier. And we'll also get our ground to the amplifier installed as well. I did forget to mention that these kits with the ground, this ground to the amplifier will be bent in a 90, because it just makes it easier when routing that you can bring the wire down just like this and bring it right up the backbone. Makes it a lot easier. So just one little thing that I do to make it easier for y'all. So let's get fighting with this. just like that, we now have our 12-volt power ran with the fuse holder loosely put in, because I'm gonna take that back off to get the new fuse put in. And you see how we did the grounds. One little trick that I did like doing is when you put this extra ground on, I brought it around, so over the top of this backbone harness and underneath it, because you can reach your hand up under here. And it takes up some of the slack and allows you to get it over here to this ground. We are gonna route this power wire underneath that harness, because now our power and ground wires are in the same area, so that way we can route it up the backbone on this side of the harness. Let's go ahead and get repositioned and start routing it up the backbone. All right, now that we have got the power and ground wires situated back here, now it's time to get it going up the backbone to get to your fairing. Don't mind the paper towel, it's just for the fuel line, which we're gonna disconnect that and get it out of our way. All right, now that that's up out of our way, let's go ahead and get this cover off. Just simple row of quick tabs on each side. There's 5 on each side. And then this will expose the lovely backbone harness from Indian. And what I want to do is, even though I already did it, I'm going to pop this off and show you what I did. And then we'll go ahead and put it back on, and I will show you my little technique here.
Okay, Patrick, it's all in the technique.
So just take a panel removal tool, pop this clip, set it aside. And to take this off, you just simply pick up on the back and pull it backwards, up, and then backwards, because right here, it goes into the backbone right here, which is just a big void for the intake, which there's an intake outlet right down here in the neck. So what I wanted to show y'all is I drilled a sequence of 3 holes all the way up this. And the reason for that was for zip ties. The best way to keep the wiring nice and clean and tight is with zip ties. So I like to use them all the way up here, so that way I can zip tie the OEM harness up out of the way, my power and ground, and then I have something more to secure the speaker wiring going down the backbone, which is going to go in the saddlebags, which in a future video we will do a complete install on one of these bikes for you all. So for right now, let me just fish the zip ties through here. That way you all can see how I do that and what it looks like. All right, and just like that, now you have this nice prickly back looking piece. The biggest thing is, how I like to do it is you bring both zip ties in from the middle and then fish them out each way. The reason for that is when you go to zip tie, you want the heads to be away from each other all the way up, and that's going to allow you to route like the OEM harness down this side, and then the power and ground down this side, and then you'll be good to go. So let's get this slid back in and start routing wires. And now with this part, we have our wires. I like to snake them on the brake side of the bike, between the neck and the brake line. You're gonna bring them up that way into the fairing, you're gonna put the connector on, and then we'll be able to plug it into the amplifier. All right, now we are back to the front of the bike, and like I said, we're gonna bring in the power and ground right here, because I want to snake it through, and our power and ground connector is right here. So we're going to kind of bring it in and then loop it up and right back into ourselves. So like I said, there's the brake line right here. So bring it into the neck of the bike side first. And then what we're going to do is, these are oriented negative and positive. So All you have to do is make sure these have like a little tooth thing at them. You're gonna push them in to where it goes in and then clicks down. Just like that. And then you can kind of just work this around so that way some of the slack is up. And then we essentially want to bring it in this way. So we'll pop this up just a little bit. I bring this wiring down. I would bring it up from here up towards this. So that way we can not only get this plugged in, but then we can hide our wiring up just like this. And then actually the OEM stuff will help stashing the wire like that. I am going to go ahead and put like a zip tie on this so that way it doesn't rub. But you do want to leave a nice little coil so that way when you move the fairing, it doesn't pull on the wiring and whatnot. So that is the process of installing the Davidson audio power and ground kit for this. Remind you, these fuse holders do not come with a fuse in them. So now once you make this connection, everything else is completed. You'll go back to the battery. You'll go ahead, loosen up the fuse holder mounting bolt, pull that out so you can get a little bit more room with the fuse holder. Put the fuse in it. Remember, you will get a spark that's normal. Bolt it down securely, and then you'll be able to turn your system on and enjoy it. So that wraps up this video. I really hope you all enjoyed this. I hope it was informative enough for you all to help you through the installation process of our power and ground kit, and also serve as a way to show you all the pride and joy and workmanship or craftsmanship we put into our products, that we really try to think of everything so that way it makes y'all's life easier, and it makes it for a really nice clean install when it's all said and done, which I know we've only done the DSP, the amp, and the power and ground. There's other things that go into this, like the speaker wire harnesses, which in a future video we will do a complete installation of this for you all to show you from A to B how it's all done. So this was just informative to help get you through a couple of the products we offer. And yeah. Brandon Davidson, owner Davidson Audio. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share the channel, help us grow it. Because as y'all know, we're now going after the 1K subscriber giveaway, which will be a Braille Lithium G14LS lithium battery that will work for the Chieftain or the Challenger. And I'm sure other Indian motorcycles, or do you have a different motorcycle? We'll get you a battery for that. So that being said, again, Brandon Davidson, owner of Davidson Audio, and I'm out.